Yeah, I'm recording. All right, cool. What is going on, everyone? And welcome to Kart 63. My name is Ben. Thank you very much for stopping by. If you didn't mind, real quick, hitting a like on the video, possibly subscribing to the channel if you are new to this channel. Getting pretty fast at that, aren't I? I'm really jonesing for racing. Much like a lot of this country, I have been, things have been rained out. I just haven't gotten, I've been to one race. I did a test session 2 weeks ago at AMS on an engine, figured out some things, and yeah, that's it. I'm hoping to race this weekend. We'll see if the cards are right for me to go and do that or not. So I was I'm really kind of buckling down, trying to get this kart ready. I was like, dude, you got to put out a video. So this kind of just came about. You know, I have all these suggestions from the viewers, and I probably should do those, but in a pinch, I need to throw this together real quick for a Thursday video. I've been reading, I won't even say a lot. This has popped up in my newsfeed on Facebook, and I know that some people really upset about this thing, and I thought we could talk about it. Now, first things first, I don't get into drama. I have no horse in this race, dog in the show, whatever the terminology is. I don't race WKA, nor do I own any newer brands of tires. So first things first, not my fight to fight. I just am looking from afar, absorbing knowledge. I have opinions on it. I thought it'd make, for a cool video. So WKA announced that they were changing some tire brand to the HBM Reaper tire instead of, I believe they had Maxxis as their primary tire source for WKA. I could be wrong. Again, I don't have it's not my game. I run open tire, so it doesn't matter if I wanted to run Reapers, if I wanted to run Cobra, if I wanted to run, for the major brands. So it's Maxxis, Burris, Vegas, and Hoosier. Would be what I consider the major brands, probably kind of in that order as far as, the tire usage is throughout the country. I could be wrong. I actually don't know the numbers on that. So I thought I could break this down into different segments and talk about the different sides of why one would be upset, why there would be doing this in general, type of thing. So let me collect my thoughts here, and we'll do this. We'll break it up into sections. Okay, first we'll take on WKA. Why would WKA choose to do this? Why would they choose to go with a different tire brand? Say, I'm assuming it was Maxxis. Being that most of the races that I see WKA run are down south. So in the economy, whether you're doing well or not, some of us are not. Everybody's feeling the pain a little bit. Everybody has less disposable income. WKA, I'm sure, is seeing less participants in the racers. So in order to, boost their, people coming to the racers, they want to cut costs. At least this is, part of the statement they had put out, is that, hey, we're doing this type of prize money, but we're cutting costs for, entry list or for your entry. We're cutting costs in tires. We're changing to the HBM Reaper, which is a less costly tire compared to one of the major three, tire brands in America here. So they're looking at it from a standpoint, if we cut the costs, we're going to increase entries into our races, which, nobody's in business not to make money. WKA as an entity, yes, they want to put on races. Yes, they want to, keep the spirit of karting alive, but WKA as an entity would like to make money, and they can't make money with people not coming to the races. Well, less disposable income creates people not coming to the races. So if we chop some of these costs down, tires being, one of the most expensive things at a WKA event, I would assume that, your top teams are going to need multiple sets of tires. And for you to compete, if you're looking to go to a WKA event, you're going to need multiple sets of tires in order to compete with them. So that's the WKA side as best I can see it. It's a numbers game. How do we get you to the track? Cutting costs. One of the things they mentioned, that one of the expenses is tires, and it's very hard for a lot of teams to, focus on this budget, that it would take to win races at a WKA event. All right, why would teams be upset at this? Well, changing tires. There are a lot of teams that are perfectly happy with what they have to invest in their tires. They also know their tires. Say we're just taking Maxxis as the example here because no other reason than I want to use Maxxis. For the record, though, Maxxis I don't know as well as I do a Vega or a Burris because I'm from the Northeast. Anyway, so the top teams, most of the teams going there, they know the life cycle, if you got to run heat cycles on them, what preps work really well on the Maxxis tire in order to make it perform. They just know the tire so well. So even if the cost is more than what the Reaper costs, they're willing to pay that money to get the win. I mean, it looks good for chassis manufacturers. It looks good, for Maxxis to be, up there on the pedestal. Hey, this person won this prestigious race, this 20,000 to win race or whatever it is, and he was running Maxxis tires. It's fantastic promotion for the product. They sell more product because your product is running up front. So, the teams are just, they don't want to invest in the time that I'm assuming here to figure a new tire out. Now, let's be honest, years ago, I've been around long enough that I've seen newer tire companies come into the fray, if you will. So we have seen the Kings tires. That was probably the first bootleg, the off-brand tire that I was aware of besides the major tires. Now, funny story is I actually won on Kings before they're even the Maurice Kings. I ran them at Sullens Grove, PA for a UAS race, and I actually won on the softer set of tires. I had very good luck with them. Weren't the roundest things around, but they made tremendous grip. So, and then I think, it was a while ago, but then we had the Unillis come in. Now, I had bought some Unillis secondhand because I wanted to know what they're all about. Wasn't overly impressed with them. Obviously, I'm up north here. I really wasn't thinking. I got them on the super cheap. Even prepped them pretty hard, and they didn't come down in Durham. Never ended up, I think I just gave them away eventually. But I don't think the Unilli brand really, I think it left a bad taste in people's mouths for newer brands coming in and, taking away from what they know. What they know is Maxxis. What they know is Burris. What they know is Vegas. So teams are not wanting to, go through that again. What if the Reaper is not as good of a tire as a Maxxis? Everything that I've ever heard is the Reaper is a very good tire, by the way. But just, that's anecdotal just from what I've read and people have said or anything. I haven't, heard any bad mouthing about the brand or anything like that. I would love to get a set and prep them down, see what they could do up north, but I digress. So I think the teams, they don't want the extra cost of trying to figure out what it takes for these tires to go fast. They don't want to run the risk of maybe they're not as good as a Maxxis, maybe they're not as good as, is what they know. And, it's tough for them to go ahead and just, even though it's, it costs less initially, it's going to, for them to do more laps, to figure out what they need. It may, in the long run, to do the testing, to know that the rubber's life cycle, do you have to, let them set for a amount of time? Do you prep them a month ahead of time and let the prep soak in? And that's when they run the best. They don't have this knowledge in their back pocket. So I think that's why, a lot of the teams are a little upset about this switch up for WKA. Change into the tire, I guess I would assume. I don't know. Just hypothesizing here. Is that right? It's just my opinion. All right. And next one. And last but not least, the bigger name tires. Why are they upset? Well, the new kids on the block. That is why they're upset. We are Maxxis. We are Burris. We are Vega. We are Hoosier. We are known. We have our parts of the country where people run our tires, and when the new kids on the block, the HBM Reaper, the Cobras come in and try and steal tracks away from them, obviously they're in business to make money. You're taking profits away from them. Of course they're going to be upset, and it's it's just the way it is. My personal opinion, I am an open tire guy. I am more the merrier. If if Reapers are that good of a tire that, somebody like me, I don't have an unlimited budget, but I may be doing a little better than, some people in my ability to buy these tires. I'm all for it. Let's see what they can do. Maybe, they are faster than what I'm used to. Maybe they are faster than, I mentioned before, I'm not that great at Maxxis. When I go down south to the harder tracks, I'm at a disadvantage because it is not a tire that I know as well as I know tires up north, your Burris and your Vegas. So I'm genuinely curious whether or not, these tires can compete. Now, if Reaper and Cobra, which I see less of, I'm not taking any pot shots at it. I see the Reaper advertised more. I see more posts about it on Facebook than I do the Cobras. I don't know. Cobras could be a fantastic tire. I heard some good things about it last year. Somebody said they set some really fast lap times at Paradise on them, but that's about up north all I've really heard about them. So I honestly don't know if it's a good tire or not. I don't know if the Reaper's a good tire or not, but I don't think that the big brands care if it's a good tire or not. They obviously don't want it to be as good as theirs because they have their price point. They know what profits they like to make. And if somebody's coming in and undercutting them, by a fairly large margin of what they're charging for tires, it's gonna make them mad. When you start to impede on people's profits, it makes them mad. Imagine that. And if Reaper and Cobra are coming in and maybe they're able to strike deals with some of these tracks that, it's no longer going to be a Maxxis track or a Burris track, maybe they come in and Reaper makes an offer to, hey, we're gonna add to the bonuses at the end of the year events, or we're gonna offer free tires and products if you run a class or two or whatever it is with Reaper to get their name out there, to make their presence known. This is obviously not going to make the bigger brands happy about it. I'm sure they're not stoked right now, especially with this announcement. So I think in general, it's any change is going to be met with resistance. I think that the WKA is trying to do what they can to bring people in. You're gonna have the battle. You're never gonna make everybody happy unless, of course, you make it open tire. I'm a big advocate, because I'm a UAS guy, that we get to choose whatever tire we freaking want to whatever freaking track we freaking go to. I don't swear on this channel, but I freaking mean business. It's just, I know that, if I open tire, then you gotta have all these tires. No, not really. I mean, yeah, I got quite a few tires, but you basically have an idea what track takes what type of tire, and what works best within your, you're not going to travel the entire United States. Only certain tires really work pretty good up here. Only certain tires work really good down south, Midwest, out west. I don't know, different parts of the country. Anyway. That's my opinion on it. I just thought it'd be kind of fun to, maybe break down what the hubbub I think is about. Again, I haven't read a ton into it, just a little bit, what WKA kind of mentioned there, Reaper, and, maybe some comments. Sometimes I dive into the comments and read, and I'm like, ooh, some people are not happy about this whole thing. So I thought it'd be kind of a fun video. I'm not taking one side or the other. I'm all for Reaper doing their thing, but I understand why teams and the other manufacturers of tires are going to be upset about a change like this, about the new kid on the block coming in and, taking away profits, tracks, whatever. I get it. It's everybody. Nobody goes into business to not make money. I don't know if this is new news to everybody, but it's true. You can make a little profit or you can make a lot of profit. That's really up to you, and your profit margins or how you want to do business is what it is, but nobody goes in to lose money or to break even. Newsflash, businesses like to make money. Burris, Maxxis, Reaper, they all want to make money, just varying degrees. And costs are in that too. So it's a whole thing, all right? So, all right, guys, I really appreciate you coming by. I hope I didn't upset too many of you. I try and be as even Steven Switzerland on as much stuff as possible. I am a super opinionated person. If you know me in real life and you ask me some things about other things, I have a hard line of how I believe things are. But on here, I want to give the every side I can possibly think of. I try to be as objective as possible looking at this, and there may not be a solution to people being upset about something. Is what it is, but I think if you understand from where everybody's kind of coming from, you understand why they might be upset, and eventually things will work itself out. Reaper will either come right up and become one of the major brands, maybe overtake a Hoosier or something at some of the tracks. Possibly, maybe they fade out, like Kings did, like Unili's did. Maybe they disappear, but I hope not. I like competition. I think it makes for better economics in the sport of karting. So there you go. Thank you very much for stopping by, and I'll see you again on Sunday. Hopefully I get some racing in, and maybe I'll have some footage of that coming up here shortly. Jeez, it's been a heck of a spring. Later.